Hi, I'm Carol Duncan from So What Designs, and this is an image of a block that I did in my Majestic Hoop. And if you want to find out how easy it is to do this, or perhaps some of the factors you need to take into consideration so that it is incredibly easy, then I have a new tutorial released on the secret site and on my own website. And in this tutorial, I show you how I put these rings or frames of motif stitching in, how I pre-treat them so that they are not too dense, and then I include various mini designs just to finish off. The stippling is not in my first tutorial. I'm going to do a specific stippling tutorial because that relates to all hoops, not just the Majestic Hoop. So here's a close-up detail of some of these motif stitches, and they look absolutely fantastic when they're done in the hoop. And you get perfect circles, you get exact placement. Here's a close-up of the mini design. The software now has so many options in it that I'm sure are totally underutilised by a lot of people. This is a design from Stitch Delight, which is another digitiser on the Secrets website. And the idea of this block is that even when you do a block, you can see here's the join here with side 1 and side 2. By placing it horizontally, so to speak, you don't see that line. Your eye goes from up down before it goes left right. One of the big tricks that I explain in the tutorial is how to take, again, another Stitch Delight design, a lovely design, but this motif in the middle, a smidge too dense for the Majestic Hoop. So if you take it through into Stitch Editor, you can reduce the density. And I also talk about how if you don't have Stitch Editor, there are sort of cheats you can use, but Stitch Editor is a very, very worthwhile piece of software. Another mini design. So I've included in the tutorial this combination, I call it block 1, for you to be able to see exactly how I've positioned these so that you get a perfect split. Now I use Design Aligner as my preferred splitting option. There's a number of options you have in the software. Design Aligner is definitely the one that works the best. Then we have this one, I'll just open that up and have a look at it in detail. This one was made manually. I started with a mini design and manually put in the extended satin stitch, and I think this makes a gorgeous border. But there's a whole range of beautiful borders, and what's amazing, let's open both of these. Look what happens when you open two. I had no idea that one would resize itself and go within. I discovered that by accident, but isn't it a great little trick? It's a beautiful, beautiful border. Let's have a look at this one. This one is just beautiful, and there's a whole range of these lovely frames in 5D, and I have to check and see if they're in 4D. Wouldn't that look superb as a quilting design in the Majestic Hoop? And I show you a nice little trick to make sure that this splits perfectly into two discrete sections. So this is Design Aligner. This is my preferred way of splitting designs. You can move these little points, but only within the overlap zone, and sometimes there's some interesting tweaks you can do to get the overlap zone to be between designs, particularly when you have 3 designs together that you've encored. That is particularly difficult to do, but it is possible with, as I said, with a few tweaks to the design. But still, the advantage of being able to stitch it all out in one go, particularly if they're big applique designs, it's well worth it. Now this is the Stitch Editor screen, and on the Modify tab you have some brilliant sections here. The Density Advisor is one, That is an amazing tool to use when you're putting designs into the Majestic Hoop, because any small amount of tension on the hoop can cause distortion. So the Density Advisor is a must-have tool. And also, if you have beautiful borders or frames, you can actually turn them into appliques using the polygon border tool and then this create applique tool. Mind you, it can look pretty weird when you first do it, but I can show you that you haven't made a mistake, and it's quite easy to fix what looks like a horrible mess when you use this tool. It was quite surprising. Now, in addition to looking at motif stitches, I show you in the Majestic Hoop, also look at these mini designs and show you how easy it is to encore 2 mini designs where you've altered the colours in one to make beautiful borders as well. I explain how I hoop my fabrics so that you can get perfect stitch outs every time. Here's the Density Advisor. You can see this design here has an area of very dense stitching, and if you remove that using Stitch Editor, then you're going to get much better results in the Majestic Hoop, particularly if you're going to put this design in 4 times and rotate it around the hoop.